welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Adventure Elliot here from one of Spain's most emblematic and picturesque cities, Ronda, Malaga, Andalucía, Spain. And we're starting off right here at the new bridge over the Tahoe Gorge with the Guadalquivir River beneath us. And it's a nice, beautiful January day. It's sunny, although it's a little bit chilly. So if you do come visit Ronda, you're gonna wanna bring some jackets, you're gonna wanna bring some layers, perhaps some hats and gloves, because it's not like the coast in Malaga. But I mean, just look at how they build this city right into the bedrock here. I just literally cannot believe how they can do something like this, especially considering how old the city is and how many years ago many of these structures were built, and how deadly it must have been to build a bridge like this. In fact, I read that some 50 construction workers died in the process of making this new bridge. And so we're gonna go around the city today a little bit, check out what it has to offer. It's not that big. It's only about a population of 35,000 people. And so join me on an adventure in Ronda, Spain. Just hard to fathom that they built these bridges. I mean, this is the new one, but it's hard to fathom they built these bridges so many years ago. And so the first thing I should mention is transportation and how to get here. Well, for us, it was kind of difficult because there's not a lot of solid information regarding the bus transportation that comes to Ronda and from Ronda going to the city of Malaga, which is kind of like the closest big city, not counting Marbella. And so the way we found information that was accurate was by looking directly on the terminal bus station of Malaga website, and they had the bus schedules there and the prices, because anywhere else, like on all these third-party websites, we couldn't find good information. And so that's how we got there, leaving from the terminal bus station, the main bus station in Malaga. And wow, just look at the bridge here. And so that's how we got here. It was 20 euros round trip, and it took us about an hour and a half, so not that bad. And of course, you go along these windy mountain roads here, and it's a very beautiful bus ride here. You can take a nap or look at the scenery outside as you pass through the Andalusian countryside. And so the other way to get here is, of course, renting a car, probably from the city of Malaga. But keep in mind, if you're from the United States, you're going to need to have a license that's verified. You can go to a AAA in the United States and get your license verified for renting here in Europe. It's something you want to do just to have, just in case the police do stop you. Although not all rental agencies check for them, but it comes in handy when you're traveling around Europe and you want to rent a car. But along this canyon here, I think it's called the Tahoe Canyon, there's all these little walkways, and in the distance there's another bridge there, a smaller one that connects the two sides of the city. And it's just so cool how they do a great job maintaining that feel, that vibe, that you're truly back in history. And so speaking of history, there's a long history here dating way back to pre-Roman times. Roman times, this was of course a Roman fortress and outpost that had awesome protection because of the natural elements you see right here. And as such, it was later followed by Visigoth occupation, Arabic or Moorish occupation, and you'll see more of those elements later on in the video. And of course, then the Reconquest took place and the Catholic monarchs conquered the city, and it's been that ever since, here into the 21st century. And so I mean, it's basically everywhere you go in Spain, you're just having history that dates back centuries, with civilizations that have been here reconquering the city. I mean, Spain's been conquered 3 or 4 times over and over again. So we have the saying, Ronda a los viajeros románticos. And as you can imagine, this city is pretty known for being a romantic city. Town is a very tourist-dependent destination, so you can just think what kind of economic hit a place like this in southern Spain took during 2020 and 2021 with all the restrictions we had with travel and whatnot. I've seen a lot of tourists here, so that's good. That's good. It's the day after Day of the Three Kings. Now, they say people are really friendly in Andalucía, but so are the cats. That's a good kitty. Oh, this is gonna be quite a hike. Here we go. This is what Nicole wanted to do.
I know, I'm excited.
Not only can you get your quintessential Spanish European tourism sights and sounds from the city, but you can get some hiking adventures in at the same time while you're at it. Check it out. That's where we started the video, up there on that bridge. Madre mia. Jesus. Gotta be careful, people. Hombre, ¿qué tal la vista?
La vista es la hostia, impresionante. Tajo de Ronda, Málaga.
Sí.
Esto es de lo mejor que hay en España.
Ajá.
Esto es una maravilla.
¿Y de cuál parte de Andalucía eres?
Yo soy de Málaga también.
¿Malagueño de la ciudad?
No, no, yo soy de un barrio que se llama El Palo.
El
un barrio
Palo,
marinero.
hombre, pues estás de la capital Málaga entonces.
La capital, la capital.
Qué bueno. Ahí tienen muchos aspectos, a mí me gusta,
¿Te gusta?
chiringuitos.
Sí, sí, sí. Y la gente es muy buena.
Buena playa también.
Buena playa, buena gente y va mucho extranjero a aprender español allí. ¿eh?
Ahí.
Pedregalejo y todo
Sí,
eso.
qué bueno. Venimos aquí por un paseo y no me decepciono.
Es muy bonito.
Muy bonito.
Me alegro que te guste, amigo.
Sí, sí, sí. Gracias, amigo.
Venga, que disfrutes.
Hasta luego. Well, I can't make a video without having a little side adventure. So check it out. Madre mia. This is the Tahoe Canyon.
Hey, Elliot, watch where you're walking. Yeah. Dude,
Ladies.
Dive.
What do you guys think of this?
I think you should watch where you're walking. It's scary. It's massive.
The place is very, very nice. I can appreciate the rocks and
The views.
Yes, the views. The I don't know. It can downfall because I record and don't see the walk.
Guys, come on, I'm experienced. I've done this on the Camino de Santiago. You saw it in Asturias, in Cantabria. This is nothing. Okay, it is something. It's pretty high, but... Now, one of the unique things about these small white towns, these small white Andalusian villages in the mountainsides, are these little alleyways you can just get lost in. And while a few hundred meters away, there's droves of tourists. You just gotta go off path a little bit and discover the true parts of the city where the locals live.
Elliot, come here.
Oh, they want me.
Vámonos.
What did you want to show me?
This is my
Whoa.
castle. Welcome.
The
Just
enemy
kidding.
force.
Pa, 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 pa.
All die.
I mean, this city was just basically like impenetrable by invading enemy forces. Not only did you have to get over these mountain ranges, that was the first hurdle, and then the near impossible navigating these walls, the Tahoe Gorge, and then the city would have been right here behind us. Would have been impossible to invade, although there was a lot of invasions. I wonder what the view looks like from up there. Let's go check it out. Whoa. Wow. Now it just sort of makes sense why Ronda is so renowned after just being here for a few hours. I mean, the city is bigger than I thought. It's more extensive than I thought. We're at some medieval wall here. We have the whole view of the city. The little bridge is that way, or the old bridge, I should say. And man, I mean, I just can't get enough of this city. It actually takes there's a ton of things to see as well, like way more than I anticipated. You could probably even spend 2 days here. So near the end of the 15th century, fresh off the reconquest of the Iberian Peninsula, Muslims that were left in this area in the southern part of Spain, Andalucía, well, they were given an ultimatum: either flee the Iberian Peninsula or convert to Christianity, and those that did convert to Christianity were called Moriscos. But it wasn't easy for them. They had to identify themselves with a blue crescent, either on their turban or whatever they were wearing. There was high tariffs for them. It wasn't a good time to be a Muslim in the Iberian Peninsula. And so a lot of them sought refuge here in the mountainsides near Ronda. And this is where they came to freely practice their religion. And so eventually in the 16th century, King Philip II, well, he outlawed the use of the Arabic language, both written and spoken. That was part of the Spanish Inquisition that we see right here. And so we're gonna head down there by the old bridge where there are still elements of when the Arabics ruled the Iberian Peninsula, and those are the Arabic baths. And apparently they're really, really well preserved. So let's go see if we can see some Arabic architecture and some remnants of what was Al-Andalus. But keep in mind, before the 16th and 15th century, the Muslims, or the Arabics, the Moros, had occupied the vast majority of the Iberian Peninsula, and in that time, it wasn't a good time to be a Christian. So these are the Arabic baths, and now they're a museum which you can check out, and they're located in the old Arabic quarter. And these thermal baths are best preserved of their kind to be found in the Iberian Peninsula. They're divided into 3 main zones: cold, warm, and hot, following the Roman model. The old hydraulic system remains almost intact: the water wheel, the pipes, and the boiler. And so to enter the city during the time of the occupation of the Arabs, you had to cleanse yourself upon entering the city, and that's one of the reasons these Arabic baths existed here. So we're on the balcony, or the Balcón de Coño. Why do they call it Balcón de Coño? Well, Coño in Spanish means like damn. So it comes from the surprise or the exaggeration of being so high up and you're on a balcony overlooking the Tahoe Gorge beneath you. And so you say, Coño, because you're so high up. Behind me is perhaps the most renowned bullfighting ring in all of Spain. Ernest Hemingway himself, he loved coming here. He loved spending his summers here. He loved writing here. He even said that if there's one place you have to go to see a bullfight other than Aranjuez, the royal city south of Madrid, it was right here in Ronda. He also said that this was the place to come on a honeymoon, to have a romantic getaway, to find beautiful views in every corner of the city. You've already seen them throughout the video. And so these traditions, these cultures, these things are woven into Spanish culture and society. And if we were to take them away, what would Spain be? And while bullfighting has been deemed to be very controversial and ethically questionable in the 21st century, it's hard to imagine Spanish culture and society and history without it. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed that video from Ronda, Malaga, Andalucía, Spain. And if you're coming to this part of Spain, I highly suggest you take a day trip here. It was totally worth it. I 100% recommend. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hasta luego. Oh, wait, there's some bonus footage. I found a secret path to a secret view. Whoa. All right, you guys. See you on the next video.